Well, there's suddenly plenty of action out here in the main arena. We've got Camdrafters, we've got horses, we've got cattle, we've got dogs, and we've got the wonderful
Mr.
Jim Callanan.
Callahan. Jimmy, welcome to the main arena.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Tim. And it's just great to be here. We head towards the halfway mark for round 4 of the Tyrrell's World Championship Camp Draft.
Yeah.
So it is getting very interesting. From here on, it's could be worked out who could be the winner of 2019.
Well, we're into night 4, as you say, and night 1, we had Bruce Coulthart taking out the cookies. Wyatt Young did really well on night 2, but last night it was Cody Law with the highest score.
Yeah, Cody Law has certainly put that wonderful round around last night. But I think tonight, I think we're going to see something really special, a magnificent line of the Angus heifers. Once again, many thanks to Elliston Pastoral Company up there, the Packer family, and the management, Rob Teague and Scott Mitchell and the whole team. And then we have Murray Wilkinson down here with those wonderful dogs, and he's been working these cattle for quite a time now, and then they know all about the dogs, and they're just so well handled and in magnificent condition.
Well, this is a cumulative competition, so every night that we get a first, second, third, fourth place, our first place will pick up 4 points, second place 3 points, third place 2 points, so on and so forth. So what we want to see tonight, of course, is players that haven't picked up a 4-pointer coming out here to get as many on the board as possible.
Well, that's right, Lindsay, as we head into the halfway mark, round number 4, those competitors who may only have 1 point on the board or haven't got a point on the board at the moment, things do turn around very quickly. So if we get a couple of those competitors that want to get on the board and they win the next few rounds, well, it'll go right down to the wire on Wednesday evening.
We've got some wonderful sponsors here tonight, don't we, Jim?
We certainly do, Lindsay. The wonderful Tyrrell's Wines, they've been the great association with the RAS for the World Championship Camp Draft for a long, long time now.
Well, Jim, we've got wonderful cattle, we've got wonderful sponsors, we've got great judges and great competitors. But for girls and boys, mums and dads who haven't seen camp drafting, can you give us a quick explanation of how it all works?
Well, where the Murray brought the cattle out and put them over here into a yard where the Tyrrell's Wine sign is, and that's what we call the cattle camp. The competitors will go in there and select a beast and bring it up to the face of the camp to show our judges the ability to hold that beast away from the others, and that's out of a possible score of 26 points. Tonight, it's a right-hand course. Other evenings, we've been running a left-hand course. In round number 4, we're doing to run a right-hand course. So the first peg is taken on the right. You get 2 points of that peg. They come around, do the changeover. The second peg is taken on the left, and you get 1 point for that peg. Then go over to the 2 pegs close together, as we refer to as the gate, and we get another point for the course there. So that's 4 out of 4. The control of the run, the speed of the run is out of a possible score of 70 points. So we put the 26, the 70 and the 4 together is out of a possible score of 100 points.
Well, our first competitor is in camp. The draw is different every night. There's a benefit to going first. You get your first pick of the best cattle, but you don't know how they're going to run until they're out there. This is our youngest camp drafter in camp now, Tyler Berkeley. He had a fantastic round 2, picking up 87 points. This is his first year competing at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. He's been campaigning this horse, Quinton, for the last 4 years. And previous to that, Quinton was bred, owned and trained by the wonderful Gallagher family.
So Tyler Berkeley just running his eyes over this wonderful line of Angus heifers. And he has the pick of the yard, number 1 out in round number 4. So he gets the pick. And he says there must be one here with a big score in. The judges are about all set to go. Tyler's ready to go. And this magnificent Mackay Arena is all set to go. Round 4 of the Tyrrell's World Championship Camp Draft. Have you done another pick tonight up there, Tim?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I have. And I've gone straight through with Joseph Burgess, is my pick tonight. He was a 79 last night. He's an 81. He's been knocking on the door. Joseph Burgess is the man.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you later on as we go with number 1, Tyler Berkeley with Quentin. And it's a right-hand course tonight and round the first peg. And things are sailing very well for Quentin and Tyler Berkeley. A big, nice running Angus heifer. They do the changeover. And Tyler Berkeley and Quentin are right on the job. They're going to go now. He says, I think it's time to go, Quentin. We're going to tighten things right up. And Quentin moves around onto the beach shoulder. Camdprafting at his best. Just steps away now. Boys and girls, can he do it? Can Quentin and Tyler Berkeley? He lines it up. It's looking perfect. It is a magnificent run. Tyler Berkeley with Quentin.
Can't believe I picked him as our winner, Tyler Berkeley. What a run. He's only 16 years of age. Well, while we wait for the score, we come back in with Andrew Chapman. He's riding Digby. He was equal second here on the first night. He's had an 80.2 in round number 2. Chappie and his wife Trudy of Nundle in New South Wales and the New England have been campaigning for 10 years. He's a cattle stud manager, and his horse has won 15 open camp drafts, and this is his 5th year competing at the Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Well, we have a score now for Tyler Berkeley with Quentin was 21 for cutout, 62.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 87.5 points. 87.5 points for Quentin, ridden by Tyler Berkeley. And I know Dad Ron is up in the stand there and Mum's at home, so she'll be watching it live stream. And we welcome those people at home watching it round 4 on live stream. We go with Digby with Andrew Chapman. It's a right-hand course. Now Digby comes, he's going to tight. Well, just a little bit too tight. Bad luck for Digby and Andrew Chapman.
Well, we'll wait for the cutout score there for Chappie, but next in camp is a man who has scored really well in every round. This is Bruce Coulthard of Long Flat. He's riding Fig. Well, night 1, he had an 89, scoring first place in the first round. In the second night, he came in at second place with an 88.5. He got equal second last night with an 87. Let's see what he can do tonight. He's only been drafting for 4 years, but in that time he's been the all-round camp draft horse winner in 2015 at the ABCRA. He had a great open horse aggregate winner score in 2014 at the same finals. And Fig Sire was Royal Fletch, a futurity champion over in the USA.
Andrew Chapman with Digby scored 22.5 for cutout, 22.5 points for Digby, ridden by Andrew Chapman. Well, we move on to number 3, Bruce Coulthard with Fig. Now around the first peg, and Fig says, just leave the footwork to me, Bruce. You just let me go when we say go. And he feeds him a little more rain as they come around the first peg and gets a magnificent running heifer too. She says, it's just so good to be out here in the Mackay Arena. And look at Bruce Coulthard. He's going to go very close around the second peg and wraps things around. Now he says, I'll just sit back. And Fig says, we better get ready to change over, Bruce. That peg's not too far away over here. Can they do it? Can Bruce Coulthard and Fig, can they do it? Look here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Champagne camp drafting in round number 4.
4 from 4. He did a round. He's completed the course every single night. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Bruce Coulthard. We'll wait for the score. While we do that, we welcome into the arena Joseph Burgess, Avalon Illusion. He only started riding this young man when he was 18 years of old, and this is his 3rd year here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show as an equine dentist, and he's currently sitting equal 2nd and 3rd in the ABCRA Open Horse and 4th in the most successful rider for this year.
A score now for Bruce Coulthard, and Fig was 22 for cutout, 62 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 88 points. 88 points for Fig, ridden by Bruce Coulthard.
The new leader in the competition puts himself into first place.
Well, we just wait till Murray and Pete Kelly, Murray Wilkinson. Pete Kelly will put this Angus heifer, put her back over in the bedroom for the evening with the nice hay and the water and well looked after. So, Joe Burgess, Avalon Illusion, the horse dentist. See what he can pull out here in round number 4. Right-hand course, he steps out into the Mackay Arena and he gets a very fast one. A very, very fast one it is too, and it comes to steers it around the first peg. And she just wants to have a little bit of a run around. She wants a big run around here. Now around here in the Mackay Arena. He comes around now. Can he line it back up around the bottom side? Looking pretty good. Now, but Joe Burgess, Avalon Illusion, and just cuts in on the top side. But give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Trying his hardest. But sometimes things just don't go to plan.
Well, we'll get his cutout score in just a moment's time. Our next competitor in camp comes to us from Bunnan, New South Wales. He scored really well in the last 2 nights, both times 80 points, 80.5 in round 2. And he was actually our winner last year, our second place last year in the World Champs, the runner-up with Tajano Spin. This year, he's on Red Elf's Raven Acres.
Joe Burgess with Avalon Illusion was 21.5 for cutout. 21.5 points there for Avalon Illusion, ridden by Joe Burgess. Well, Adam Sadler, the property manager from Bunnan in the Hunter Valley. And he'll be hoping that he can manage something here this evening in round 4 of the Tyrrell's World Championship Camp Draft. He runs his eyes over these Angus heifers. And in a magnificent condition. And once again, many thanks to Elliston Pastoral Company, the Packer family, the management, Rob Teague, Scott Mitchell, and also Murray Wilkinson and the team. So Adam Sadler steps up the front with Relders Raven Acres, and he steps out into the Mackay Arena, and things will look pretty good, and the heifer says, yes, I'll love to be out here. And look at this for a combination. They come around towards the first peg, and Adam Sadler says it's time to ride, and Raven Acres says I'm ready to go. It feels really good out here, and look at this. This is camp drafting right around the beast's shoulder. Adam Sadler and Relders Raven Acres around the second peg. This is camp drafting. Boys and girls, mums and dads, get excited now. So they're trying to camp drafting right up on the beast's shoulder. And look at Raven Acres right around, and look here, down the neck of the bottle it comes. I'm with you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh.
I'm going to say commentator curse there, Jimmy. I think you called him a bit too early. Hey, next into the camp while we wait for the score. Jim doesn't even give me a response there. Rebecca Roberts, and she's riding Duck Ray Gorgeous, and this is her first year attending at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, and she's currently the CRA Ladies Camp Draft leader in 2018 and winner of multiple ladies drafts throughout 2018. This is her first competition at the Sydney Royal Easter Show, and Duck Ray Gorgeous, and he started campaigning in 2017.
Adam Sadler with Relders Raven Acres was 21.5 for cutout, 59 for horsework, 3 out of 4 for the course, a total of 83.5 points. 83.5 points there for Relders Raven Acres and Adam Sadler. Now Rebecca Roberts with Duck Ray Gorgeous, and steps out now into the Mackay Arena, and things are looking good for the first peg. Now let's try and ride with Rebecca Roberts all the way from Lochinvar. One of our lady competitors. Gets 2 out of 4 for the course. And now look at Duck Ray Gorgeous around. Oh, look here around the second peg. And look here. Look, let's try and ride with her now. Rebecca Roberts, boys and girls, mums and dads. Let's see. We won't say too much at the moment. I jumped the gun early, so Tim was telling me. So we come around now. Well, can they do it? Can they do it? I'll give her. Well, we're going to leave that one in the hands of the judges. We might have to go back to the big screen and see what took place.
You could hear a collective absolute breath hold there across the arena. The next in camp, while we wait to see the outcome of Rebecca Roberts' draft, is Josh Barnett. Well, they say camp drafting is a family sport, and it certainly is. Back in 2011, his father competed on another Barn Lodge horse. He's on a Barn Lodge here, Omega Destiny, but his dad came out here back then on Barn Lodge Molly. Well, Josh Barnett's first time here at Sydney Royal Easter Show competing in the camp draft, but he did compete in the rodeo here previously. He's won 7 ABCRA drafts, and he did really well this year in the Charlie Marr Young Guns Classic at Landmark with an 89 in the final on this very horse.
Rebecca Roberts with Duck Ray Gorgeous was 22 for cutout, 59 for horsework, 3 out of 4 for the course, a total of 84 points. 84 points for Duck Ray Gorgeous and Rebecca Roberts. As Josh Barnett now comes around the first peg, does the changeover. Now with Barn Lodge Omega Destiny, and it just gets a little bit of a wriggle up around the second peg, guts around there now. Again, Omega Destiny says, yes, we've got it all under control. We're just pushing back around here now. The Angus Heifer comes around now. Now they're going to try and tighten it up, and he does just that and takes a few leaves off it. Now let's cheer him on. Let's cheer him on. Barn Lodge Destiny Omega, and yes, it's looking pretty good. Give him a round of applause. And his mum and dad, Richard and Annette, up here in the crowd as well. They'll be pretty pleased with that.
Well, he got there. What a recovery on the second peg. As I welcome out a good mate of mine. He was giving me some stick last night for not going to have a drink with him. It is Mr. Troy Palmer. He was 5th place last night. A horse grazier and trainer. He comes from Coolar, and we've got the Coolar fan squad sitting over there in the Sinclair stand. He's 17 AB, CRA, horse and rider titles. He's been drafting since he was 8 years of age. He is an absolute current and legend in the sport of camp drafting. It is Mr. Troy Palmer.
Score now for Josh Barnett with Barn Lodge Omega Destiny was 22 for cutout, 58.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 84.5 points. 84.5 points for Barn Lodge Omega Destiny and Josh Barnett.
Into
as we
third
welcome
place.
To Troy Palmer now with Benia Larina, and they've got a fast one too, but Larina's equal to the task and just gives us a bit of a bump there, and it turns it in there towards the first peg. And Larina now comes around. Can they turn around? She said, no, we'll just sit back here a little bit, Troy, and let this heifer run on and get the feel of the Mackay Arena. Now comes around the first peg, 2 out of 4 for the course, and she says, we're ready to go, Troy. She said, I think it's time to go. And Larina takes a few big strides and around the second peg and says, no, I want to go home. So give him a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They were both trying their very, very best, Troy Palmer and Benia Larina.
Well, a lot of camp draft competitors will do thousands of kilometres every year to compete at the drafts they want to get to. They're held all over Australia. This gentleman here in camp has travelled around 12 hours from his hometown of Roma in Queensland to compete here. He did a 77.5 last night and 88 the night before. This is Brendan Fitzgerald and More Rocks.
The score for Troy Palmer and Benia Larina was 22 points for cutout. 22 points, therefore Benia Larina, ridden by Troy Palmer. So number 9 in the draw, Brendan Fitzgerald. He makes his selection with More Rocks. He does the 1, the 2, the 3 and the 4. Right up the face of the camp, he calls for the gate. He steps onto the dance floor here in the Mackay Arena. And More Rocks says, well, they're ready to go. And here comes Brendan Fitzgerald, and he's got a fast-running Angus Heifer around the first peg. And look, More Rocks and Brendan Fitzgerald, very fast run here. They do the changeover. They get 2 out of 4 for the course. Now they try to set things up for the second. And he says, let's go. And More Rocks says, let's go. And we've got it all under control. Boys and girls, mums and dads, can they do it? Can they do it? They do the changeover. He rides towards the gate. He's looking for 4 out of 4. Brendan Fitzgerald, all the way from Roma, from the Sydney Showground, they come through the middle of the gate and a magnificent run.
Oh, what a treat we're having here tonight. That's our 6th completion here this evening, and we've had 2 very close runs while we wait for his score. Jay Shanok is our next rider. Jay is from Ballabadar, just up there on the north coast of New South Wales, and he's been riding most of his life, competing in a range of different equestrian disciplines. And he's well renowned in the camp drafting as he breeds and trains his own horses, and also trains and very successful, completes horses for clients. He's gone from strength to strength competing with these clients' horses and achievements. He was 4th at the Warwick Gold Cup Stallions Camp Draft running the highest score in 2017.
Score for Brendan Fitzgerald with More Rocks was 22.5 for cutout. 63.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a top score of 90 points. 90 points for More Rocks, ridden by Brendan Fitzgerald.
New leader in the competition, Jimmy. That's the highest score all week long as well.
So they're like a bottle of wine. The longer it goes and the older it is, the better it tastes. And here it comes, Jay Shanok, and he likes to get a little bit of the taste as well as he steps out now into the Mackay Arena. And things are looking pretty tight and close here for Jay Shanok and Urana Copper Acres. Copper Acres now says, just sit back a little bit. I think we should, Jay. Now they do their changeover and just let the heifer run on by a little and comes around now Copper Acres. Now they're going to got to get right up on the beast's shoulder. Turns it back now towards the second peg. Now comes around now. It says, yes, I'll sit back a little bit. And she says, now I think we can go now. Urana, Copper Acres. Can they do it? Now they did 3 out of 4. Can they do it, boys and girls, mums and dads? He's got to do the real sharp turn. And now the beast is coming around towards the gate. Can they get the 4 out of... There goes the whistle. But give him a lovely round of applause.
Well, as we wait for that score there for Jay, our next person in camp is one of our leading lady competitors. This is Sue Dugan, and guess what, Coolah Central School? This is another Coolah representative here. She is a farmer from your hometown. She's returning to the Sydney Royal Easter Show for her second year with her stock horse, Quindella Chief. Now, this combination did so well last year that they placed in the final 5. This horse is 19 years old. Acres Destiny is the sire, and they've been campaigning together for 15 years as a fantastic combination.
Score now for Jay Shanok and Urana Copper Acres was 23 for cutout, 56 for horsework, 3 out of 4 for the course, a total of 82 points. 82 points there for Urana Copper Acres and Jay Shanok. So Sue Dugan with Quindella Chief, and the heifer has just slipped in under the Chief's neck, gone back down to the back of the yard, but she grabs him pretty quick. Calls for the gate, steps out onto the dance floor and lines up the first peg. This is Sue Dugan, another one of our lady Camdpraft competitors. Comes around the first peg and Quindella Chief says, yes, we'll just come around here nicely now. Comes around, they do the changeover. They get 2 out of 4 for the course. And Sue Dugan reads the second peg to perfection, tightens things up, and Quindella Chief says, yes, things are going good. Let's ride with it to the gate, boys and girls, mums and dads. Can they do it? Can they do it? I'm pretty sure she can. She lets the heifer run on a little bit. Let warm those hands up, and let's celebrate with Sue Dugan with Quindella Chief.
Oh, it's the ladies' night tonight, I think, Jim.
Well,
You could easily be right, Lindsay.
Well, while we wait for the score for Sue Dugan, our Coolah representative, Terry Hanigan from Canamble, out northwest of Dubbo, a grazier. And Terry only started camp drifting 6 years ago, but he's been riding all his life. This is his second year competing at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. He was first in the AB CRA Maiden Horse in 2017 and 5th at the World Championship Camdpraft here last year.
Now, a score for Sue Dugan with Quindella Chief was 17 for cutout, 61 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 82 points. 82 points for Quindella Chief and Sue Dugan. So number 12 in round number 4, Terry Hanigan and Durkin's Onyx. And he's out in the big paddock, the Mackay Arena, round 4. And Durkin's Onyx says, well, just sit a little bit and let the heifer run on by. She just gets the feel of the ground. And Durkin's Onyx says, doesn't it feel so good out here in this magnificent arena? Around the first peg, they get 2 out of 4 for the course. Now, Durkin's Onyx and Terry Hanigan, he just starts to feed her a little more rain. And he says, a little more rain. And Durkin's Onyx says, I think it's nearly time to make a little more of a move. He does so now. Boys and girls, mums and dads, can Terry make it another one? Can he make it 4 out of 4? Can he? Can he do it? Robin's riding with him now. Robin's starting to clap and everybody else claps as well. Well done, Terry Hanigan.
Well, as we wait for Terry's score, I'm going to introduce you to one of our younger competitors. This is Wyatt Young. He had a fantastic round 1 with 88 points, placing equal second. Night 2, he came out, placed first with 89 points. He's only 23 years old, and he's actually been very successful here at Sydney Royal Easter Show in a whole host of pursuits. He's won champion-led Australian stock horse. He's been the R.M. Williams bridal winner for most versatile Australian stock horse, and he's looking forward tonight to making up for round 3 because he came out last night and got a no score. So let's see what he can do tonight.
So a score now for Terry Hanigan and Durkin's Onyx was 17.5 for cutout, 62.5 for horsework, 4 out of 4 for the course, a total of 84 points. 84 points there for Durkin's Onyx, ridden by Terry Hanigan. So Wyatt Young, right up the face of the camp. Does the 2, the 3, the 4, right up the face of the camp now. It goes for that extra one as well. Just drops back a panel or two. And now steps out onto the dance floor, the Mackay Arena. And around he's going to tighten things up around the first peg. Now around they come now with Cedar Vale Twist. Oh, and she's just going to run back in on the around the bottom side. So Cedar Vale Twist and Wyatt Young, they'll get that second shot at that first peg. Now he gets it now. Gets the 2 out of 4 for the course. Now he will just sit back a little bit now. He goes around there now. Can they pick it up? Picks up around the second peg. Cedar Vale Twist just sits back, says, we'll just take our time, Wyatt. Now they do the changeover. Can they get time? Have they got the time? Have they got the time? Has they got the time? And he winds it all up. Oh, and we'll leave that one in the hands of our Camdpraft judges as the whistle goes. And Mr. Keith Hanigan, Mr. Skip McCarthy.
What a recovery he had there, Jimmy. Looking terrible at the first peg, but that is why he's one of the best in the business, Wyatt Young from Tamworth. While we wait for his score, Cody Law now into the camp, and Cody rides Yarrawa Guns and Roses. Cody has a wealth of experience with all aspects of camp drafting. He's an accomplished competitor, renowned judge, and has been on the board of both the AB, CRA and the ACA. He competed at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Last time was back in 2004 when he was competing in the World Championship draft. And his most recent successes, including winning the Fraser's Livestock Stallion Draft at Warwick in 2015.
So a score now for Wyatt Young and Cedar Vale Twist was 21 for cutout, 54.5 for horsework, 3 out of 4 for the course, a total of 78.5. 78.5 points for Cedar Vale Twist, ridden by Wyatt Young. So Cody Law from Glen Innes, the New England part of New South Wales, steps up and he does the 2, the 3. Now Yarrawa Guns and Roses says, just leave the footwork to me. Does another one as well. Now comes out, right-hand course. Now Yarrawa Guns and Roses and Cody Law says, yes, we've got things looking pretty good. And look at the mare stretches right out now and comes around and claims the big Angus running heifer. Now they do the changeover and there's a fairly fast run coming up here. Oh, well, things were looking so good. The speed was on. And unfortunately, he's gave it away, and there'll be a cutout score there only.
Well, our final competitor heads into camp. This is Hugh Miles, who, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was last year's overall winner of the World Championship Camp Draft. He's only young, he's 29 years old, and he comes to us from Peel Vale Stud in Tamworth. Last year, he was riding a horse called Peel Vale Wishes. This year, he's on Honey Their Aiken, and he's had great scores every night of this competition. Round 1, 81.5, same score round 2, and last night he was equal second with a score of 87.
Now a score for Cody Law and Yarrawa Guns and Roses was a cutout score of 22 points. 22 points there for Yarrawa Guns and Roses, ridden by Cody Law.
So the score to beat, he must have a score better than 90 to take the win from Brendan Fitzgerald. The score of 90 is the one to beat.
So Hugh Miles steps up now with Honey Their Aiken and calls for the gate. Goes right back there now, but a good hard block there as well, and comes out onto the Mackay Arena. And the heifer says, I'm just going to take a shortcut and come in around the bottom of the first peg. But boys and girls, mums and dads, how about a round of applause there for Hugh Miles and the camp drafters in round 4 of the World Championship Camp Draft, brought to you with the compliments of Tyrrells.
Oh, Jimmy, I think we all deserve a Tyrrells after that. What a night of camp drafting. That has been sensational, with a number of scores above 80.
We've got some sensational judges out there officiating for us. And Keith Hanigan, who's come back here again for the Sydney Royal Easter Show, travels down from Walker. He's been drafting for nearly 40 years. And this year is joined by Skip McCarthy from Kempsey. He's been judging camp drafting for over 30 years. He has both stock and quarter horses, and I reckon he's been drafting about 45 years. He and his wife Beryl were down in the muster room the other day and we had a good old chat about their big love for the pursuit of camp drafting.
The score now for Hugh Miles and Honey There Aiken was 22.5 points. 22.5 points for cutout for Honey There Aiken, ridden by Hugh Miles.
Well, Jimmy, as we just tally up the results, by my book, it looks like an amazing win here this evening to Brendan Fitzgerald. The first time we got a 9 in a score, 9-0, 90 for the score for Brendan Fitzgerald in first place. Bruce Coulthard will be in second on an 88, but what a great night it is to have that score of 90, mate. We've been knocking on the door all week long, and wasn't that a great run?
Some champagne camp drafting, as we said there earlier, Tim. Once again, many thanks to the cattle donors, Elliston Pastoral Company, the Packer family, Rob Teague and Scott Mitchell, the management, and also to Murray Wilkinson, part of the whole team. As the old saying goes, teamwork makes the plan work, but under these trying conditions with the drought, etc., great job, well done to the team at Elliston Pastoral.
Well, the official results now coming to hand, and well done to Brendan Fitzgerald in first place. Second place going to Bruce Coulthard on that 88. Tyler Berkeley will pick up third on the 87.5. Fourth place going to Josh Barnett on the 84.5, and in equal fifth place, great to see Josh standing beside Rebecca there. Rebecca Roberts in equal fifth place on 84, along with Terry Hanigan also on 84, and it looks like Jimmy is with our winner.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. And here with Brendan Fitzgerald, the winner of round 4 of the World Championship Camp Draft. Well, how's that feel, Brendan? All the way from Roma. It's a long way from Roma to the Royal Easter Show.
Oh, it's a great opportunity, Jim. And got to thank the sponsors too, Tyrrells and Elliston, for those wonderful cattle. But it's a really good feeling to get the opportunity in front of a crowd in a stadium like this.
More rocks, and Brendan, you're a great team there. You certainly had the pressure on and things went all good.
Yeah, he supports me well, doesn't he?
Brendan, when the camp draft is a great family sport and it'll be the same over the border in Queensland, it's just that Mother Nature's been a little bit cruel to us all of late.
Yeah, it's a big effort for anyone to put a camp draft on, isn't it?
It is, no doubt about that, but all the very best for the remaining 2 rounds, Brendan, and it's nothing like winning a round down here at the Royal Easter Show.
It feels the best right now.
And no doubt you'll go back and fill that little glass up with a nice Tyrrells.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to sample the Tyrrells tonight.
Okay, all the best for the remaining rounds.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Brendan Fitzgerald, all the way from Roma in Queensland, and also congratulations to the other place getters of round number 4. Give them a lovely round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as they canter around this magnificent arena, and we'll cross back up to Lindsay and Tim.
Well, you will have seen our stewards down there too. A big thank you to them for running our World Championship Camp Draft. Mr. James Angus is our chief steward. You see Christopher Eggleton down there, Monty Hicks and Duncan McIntyre. But just beautiful to see our winner tonight riding off and leading out our place getters. We have only 2 nights left of the World Championship Camp Draft here at the 2019 Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Hey, Lindsay Douglas, we're going to take a short break.